everybody. Welcome along to part 2 of the transfer special here on the Rangers Rabble. Not much has happened, but I am delighted to say, before I introduce JD, that we are joined live from the Sky Studios by Ross Clark. Ross, how are you?
It's the ghost of Jim White. We're getting desperate here. We're going for voodoo, no worky, man. So I just listen. The era ties out. Ross Wilson's never let me down yet. So,
but you'll be the first to let us know if there's any breaking news.
Oh mate, if there's any break, This is why I've got the big headset on. I'm actually linked right into whoever's in the studio.
JD, how are you?
I just can't believe now. Snipped on there, man. He's sitting like that. That's made my night, by the way. That is brilliant. I thought I couldn't laugh any more today.
You don't get this anywhere else, JD, do you? That level of professionalism.
Don't tee me up, please. You certainly do not. There is only one show in the night, and it's here.
That's true. That is true. Before we get into transfer business, which is zero, before we get into where the clubs stand, before we get into is there anybody leaving, which I don't think there will be, but there may be. Can I just say to everybody, it has been a record-breaking month for the Rangers Rabble. We have had over 126,000 views, and we have had 439 new subscribers, all in the month of August. And we are up to 91 members as well. And I hope for those of you who did tune in, you enjoyed our wee members show at 8 o'clock tonight, which Ross was on. This is actually Ross's third shift today. And also, by the way, I am going to open up the phone line shortly as well, so we can get your opinion on what's been happening. So if I can go to a reporter first of all, Ross Clark. Ross, how's it looking out there? Is it all quiet?
I never seen that, Jeff. Mate, it's terrible, innit? But is it so bad, man? Like I've put the rig out on for a laugh, because if you don't laugh, you'll greet me. If you don't, mate, I'm really disappointed that we've no got anybody in just to give the place a wee. Listen, I know we signed 7 players, JD, I know we did, but off the back of the buzz of the Champions League, I think just another one player would have kept the fans happy and would have gave the punters what they were looking for, and gave the team a wee jag as well.
Aye. First of all, Craig saying looking good, Ross.
Listen, I've got court in the morning, so it's a double shift.
However, JD, me and you, we're letting the side down.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's only one guy who can get away with the suit, and that's the man that's wearing it. So,
and since you plugged in those earphones, your sound has got awful. So you're letting the team down even more.
Right, we're sorted.
There we go.
Waking the wains up with Ross laughing like that.
Listen, I don't laugh.
Serious guy, isn't he?
He's on it tonight. He's absolutely on it. The reason, obviously, that we're bumbling about, JD, is that there is genuinely no news at all. And I think, and we'll get into the size of the squad and stuff like that in a minute. But there's been nothing since we qualified for the Champions League. Is that the biggest gripe, do you think?
For many fans, it is. I think, and I'll agree with Ross. We just probably wanted one person. One signing, I think, maybe would have pacified everybody to show that, you know what, we're not going to stand still. Van Bronckhorst did say, though, once we qualified, the aim was to qualify. He got the squad he felt would qualify. So he kind of told us, and we all thought that was just a manager being a manager, and we would still bring somebody in the day. We earned it, and that's it. And I'm shocked. This afternoon, Ross, when I came on, I was confident we would have signed somebody. That's why I was like, we can just chill out. But it's came to fruition that we aren't going to sign somebody. I'm still not majorly gutted about it. I thought we would have signed somebody, but we have still brought in 7 players. What more do you want?
An 8th. Another player. Aye, I did, mate. I wanted another player, I must admit. I said earlier on, I think we're light for strikers. I do think that we're light when it comes to the striking department at the moment. But listen, is there going to be a? There's not going to be MDN now, is there? It's done. It's done.
Fucking hell,
That's awesome. That's awesome. The question is, right, in all seriousness, JT, the question is the Rangers team as it stands, is the squad big enough in terms of the quality that's in it? Because the squad, in terms of numbers, is certainly big enough. But in terms of quality, is the squad good enough to see us through a league challenge, 2 cup challenges, and a very, very difficult Champions League group?
the squad's big. The squad is big, so I don't know what more we want. Like, there is a lot. The problem I have with the squad, I think most people have, you can see in the comments, we've got a lot of players that never stay fit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could get rid of that, which it's not going to happen, then you would say we're perfect. Do you know what I mean? See if you've got Morelos, Cholak and Roof, we don't need another striker. Your 4th choice striker is for the B team, one of the boys, Lovelace or you. So we don't need another striker, but you can't hang your hat on Roof. And the wee man's just out of sorts right now. So I'm trying not to be gutted. I am gutted, Martin, but I think the squad's good enough. We've proven in Europe this squad is good enough. Champions League level, we don't know, but it's good enough to get us there. So we're there. What more do we want? I think maybe we could progress for that group and stuff like that. Baby steps. The Europa League, it was a 3-year game to get to where we got to. This is our first time in the Champions League. Is it going to take us a few years to acclimatise to the Champions League if we keep getting back in? Perhaps. So maybe we're expecting too much, but still gutted we not brought in another body at least.
Can I just say again, John Batchelor, 449 super chat. Thank you very much, John. Everybody's support is always greatly, greatly appreciated. Somebody actually asked in the comments, how do you join, excuse me, as a member? There should be a join button under your window, and failing that, there is a link in the description. There's also a link in the description to our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I think we've just went over 500 followers on Facebook. I was very slow on that. And Instagram, I'm terrible with social media, I'm not going to lie. And we are on, I apologise to 90% of the people watching, but we are on TikTok as well. Just search Rangers Rabble or Rangers_Rabble and you'll find us on TikTok. I feel like I've sold my soul. Ross, same point to you, I suppose. You made your thoughts clear earlier on today. Is the squad good enough to challenge on all 4 fronts?
It's good enough to challenge. I'm not saying we've got a weak squad. What I'm saying is there was a scope to go and give it that wee extra boost. Give the fans a boost. Give the team a boost, a wee fresh face. Somebody else to keep people on their toes. If you're asking me, he had a good game the last game, but Scott Wright coming up against a left back, Andy Robertson, etc. Is he Champions League quality, Martin? JD, is he? I would have hoped we'd have got somebody else in that can play in that role. I think we need a striker because, again, Morelos and Cholak, Roof, mate, you cannot. Sorry, that was Cammy trying to give me some advice there, but Jeff says it's not happening. It's just to forget it. No, in all seriousness, mate, Roof's a sick note. Even when he gets fit, he takes 4 weeks to get up to speed, and then once he gets up to speed, he gets a calf injury. So we've took a gamble. And I think that if we don't get favourable results in our next 2 games, the knives will be out for... By the way, Van Bronckhorst's obviously, he's told you the other night he was happy with the squad, so it's not just a Ross Wilson thing. Van Bronckhorst thinks this is a squad that's going to carry us on all fronts, but listen, I would have liked to have seen one more in, even just to give the supporters a boost. We've got to the Champions League group stages, everybody should be looking forward to it. We had... Listen, I played football, so I don't have a season ticket. I'm the first person to admit that. I don't go to every games. People like Wolf and stuff that are spending £200 the £180 plus your travel, plus you're getting something to eat, plus leaving your work early, plus all these factors that come with that. You're talking the best part of £50,000 each for a person, and Rangers, they already feel as if they've had a kick in the teeth because the prices are so high, and I've just thought they would give us something just to send the fans home happy. But listen, it doesn't look at that. I've got a couple of reporters, one at Auchenhowie and I've got one outside Ibrox. That guy for the BBC's at the roundabout standing. He's barred obviously, so he's standing at a roundabout. So apart from that, listen, mate, it's poor. I'm not happy, to be honest. I'm not saying I'm angry, but I would have liked to have seen somebody in just to give us that wee boost as supporters.
There's a lot of people saying the same thing, JD. And look, who am I? One of the channel members as well. Look, I'm scunnered with the cash we brought in, and we're not bringing in another couple. What Ross mentioned it there, the money we brought in last season from the Europa League, season ticket money, and then you've got the Champions League money. You've got the money fans are paying for the Champions League tickets. Rangers are taking a big risk here, are they not? Or am I overreacting? Is supporters overreacting? And have we done enough?
I'm stuck. I'm torn a wee bit because I would have liked to have signed up, and I'm a bit disappointed. But we did sign. We brought 7 players in. I don't think we'd be sitting having this conversation had Davies, Ridvan, Matondo all hit the ground running and flying in their starters. We'd all be going like that. We're sorted. We're sorted. You can go through that team. Somebody put in the group chat. You get through the team. We've got an unbelievable. The only position you would probably say we don't have cover for is right back. If Devine's number 2, which he probably won't be, but official fullbacks, Devine's the only right back we have. I know other people can deputise in there. But if you look at everything across the board, and if you take in Roof, Cholak, Morelos, there's 3 strikers. We play with 1. We don't need another. We don't need a 4th. We've got about 7 or 8 midfielders, centre guys who can play centre mid. They're all different types. Lawrence and Tillman being different for your Davises and your Kamaras. So there's a big scope there. Right winger, we brought in Matondo and Scott Wright. There's your 2. Sakala can maybe fit in there. The problem we have is we spent whoever agreed to spend the 3.5 on Matondo, we're not getting a boy who's ready to play the now. That might be in January. That might be too late. That's the problem. I think he's been giving his money to get these players. Right wingers is something they've identified. They brought in Matondo and it's no work. Had that worked, I don't know if I'd be. That was only the position I was working was a right winger, and we've no got it. And that's the only place I think. But I'm not sure.
It's difficult, right? On a bit of a lighter note, test video, Big Ross fined for Rahman's gig on STV Sports News.
Listen, I wipe the floor with that kind of punditry and football knowledge. Listen, there's levels to this game, right? That's all I'm saying.
There is. And of course, Billy Gilmore heading to Brighton today for 9 million. I think Rangers get £1 million of that as well. A lot of people are talking about, could we be bringing Billy back? No, me and JD are not wearing matching jammies. And stuff. But I tell you what I'll do. How are you feeling about it all? Are you happy with the business Rangers have done? Would you have liked to have seen a few more signings? Are you confident with the squad we've got moving forward? That sounded awfully rehearsed and radio, didn't it? That just came naturally. It just came naturally. Call now on 01416287237. And if you run a radio show or TV show, who needs a presenter, then my services are available. Just email me.
Photoshop somebody else's face on your head.
I mean, obviously, I would get a face transplant before I would go for a TV gig.
100%. 100%.
I mean, if I had Big Ross's face, I'd already have a TV gig.
Listen, mate. What can I say?
This is your mom. Oh, Mel, he is getting good. He is.
Right, so while we're waiting on some phone calls, which I hope will come through soon, the one thing that we've kind of touched on, JD, is we all scream and shout for youth to come through, but yet we're all still sitting here screaming and shouting for us to make new signings. Surely if we did bring in 1 or 2 new signings on top of the 6 or 7 we've already brought in, you're blocking the pathway for the youth then, are you not?
Yeah, I mentioned that this afternoon. If he puts in King, Alex Lowry, and Charlie McCann, then there's another 3 players you can add to the pool. But they need to play. We need to give them games. There's no point in bringing boys. You're only going to sign somebody tonight and them not play. So we've got to give these boys a chance. I know Lowry's injured, but McCann and Leon are ready to play. So have them. McCann's been back in the B squad. Maybe it's to keep him ticking over because he can. But I think it's dead easy and just to keep him there. I don't worry. Oh, he's in the B. No, get him in. Get him into the squad and get him in on the bench. Get him playing. Drop him in to start one game. Of course, why not? Why not? He needs to start playing if he's going to replace Davis next year. So I'm totally comfortable. If Lowry wasn't injured, I'd be even more settled. But I think Alex could do a job out there, right? Because like Ross is saying, we don't play wingers. We play inverted and they like to come inside. Gio perhaps doesn't like that system. But unfortunately, when he's got Kent on the left, he's going to need to, because Kent is not a natural outside winger. He'll come inside. So Gio's kind of moved the way he's wanted to play because he was an out-and-out winger player. He played with coach. So I'm cool with the 3 boys. I'm cool with that. Absolutely. If they boost the squad, I'm happy with that because Charlie McCann looks top notch.
Well, I apologise. I have the cold, and this doesn't look good live on YouTube. I understand that, but that had to be done.
See if you had bought the 3 boys in, JD, for one for St Mirren, one for St Johnstone, one for Motherwell, would you have been happy with that? Listen, they're your youth players, they're good players, but they're no any better than what we've got, and we've moved up a level for Europe in European terms, and we're also, let's be honest, we're trying to win our trophy back, aren't we? That's what we're trying to do. So for me, we need to be adding quality to the team, no putting the pressure on untested young boys. If we get an injury in the middle of the park, you're talking about McCann going and playing against Liverpool, Ajax, teams like that. I like the idea of them playing games against like your St Johnstones and your Motherwells and teams like that this season, where you're going to absolutely dominate the ball and they're going to have options. But who am I, mate?
I'm just faith in them. I think these young boys, especially like an Alex Lowry and even what I've seen of King and McCann, they are confident, precautious. They've grew up in the system since they were 5-6 year old. This is nothing to them, and I know the old firm's a different kettle of fish, but this is what they've been primed for fucking 15 years. So I'm not so sure some of these boys, especially these 3 now, other ones of course, but these 3 seem so composed that I don't. Charlie McCann's been called it an international game. I know it's now Northern Ireland, it might not have been a big game, but he still played international. He's been into international squads. It's a massive experience. I don't have any fear of them playing. I really don't. I don't. They've got to play at one point, and if we don't give them their chance, they'll either fizzle out, they'll move on, and we'll lose them, and they'll turn into the next Billy Gilmore or something like that. So I'd rather we just give them a chance.
Can I just interject, please?
What are you asking for permission this time for? Usually just fucking come right in.
See just on the youth skip, and look, of course this is the wish, and maybe I'm just getting a bit too ahead of myself. How do we not know that? And for me, it's obviously Lowry, but McCann as well. How do we know that one of these young boys won't break through into the team this year and get into that Champions League, Ross, and be outstanding? Charlie McCann, to me, feels like, because I've watched him a few times with the B team, and I've seen him, obviously, on the occasions that he's come into the first team. For me, McCann's level seems to rise depending on the opposition that he's playing against. So he came on against Queen of the South for like 10 minutes, right? Bossed the game, didn't look worried, and I get that's a championship team, a poor championship team. But he strikes me as the type of guy that would come on Saturday and he wouldn't look phased, and he would probably be one of the best players on the park.
That's us saying that, mate. I agree with you. It's people were saying earlier on, the boys got full caps for Northern Ireland, so the boys know a diddy. The point I'm making is it would be one bad game and you would have our fans on his back, because that's our fan base. There's a big part of our fan base who are just so used to the demands of Rangers winning all the time and competing, and and they're just no. Listen, I said yesterday I would have had a team full of young boys when we were in the bottom tier of Scottish football and built a squad around them. But listen, I would play him. I said earlier on in the pod on Saturday, I would play Sands in beside Lundstrom, and I would play King at left centre half against Celtic.
Look, on the youth thing when we were down the leagues, we'll have a discussion about that in a wee bit, because I think there was different strands to that. But we do have our first caller of the evening, caller ending 855. Hello.
How you doing?
Who's that?
Your uncle.
Oh, how you doing?
Not bad.
Jermaine Defoe?
Listen, I've just kind of listened to you there, and he's going on about Leon King and that. If he plays against Liverpool and that, they're getting pumped. What does the panel think of that?
I would ask the question.
We're getting pumped.
I would ask the question. See, last year, Celtic brought Tony Ralston in, and I watched him when he was on loan at St Johnstone, and he was hideous, and their fans were shouting from to get. So that there is young players that can come in and hit the ground running and play with better players about them. What you're saying, but yeah, your old uncle's just backed up my point there, mate.
I was just about to say that. You've just backed up the point that some players. This is where I think it differs now. That these boys it's a different world now. See, like your Charlie Adam, even your John Flex. They come into this environment, and that's what happened to them, and they kind of dwindled away and couldn't hack it at Rangers. I think that the players get through a different psychology these days that I don't think Alex. Look, Willie will tell you, it will not get. Alex Lowry will not give two fucks if somebody boos him for making a misplaced pass, because what he'll do the next time is he'll try it again, and it might not work. See, the third time when it works and it comes off and it's a wonder assist, that's why he'll keep doing it. So I don't think these new boys really care what the fans shouting, moaning at them, because they're so confident themselves. You're going to make mistakes here. We all make mistakes. Even the best players in the world make mistakes. Even all our top players have made mistakes. So, pumped or no off Liverpool, I say bring it on. I do not fear playing Liverpool whatsoever.
Right, well, do you know what? I was going to leave this till later on, right? And I'm going to call you William for the first time in my life, right? Because I'm going to give you your Sunday name, because I'm not calling you uncle on a live podcast, right?
Can I call him a Willie?
What's that?
Right, so your face Leon King plays, right? We're going to get pumped. But right now, as it stands, we've got Suter, Davies, Hollander, and Goldson, along obviously with King, as Kakic's left today. Regardless of whether they're injury prone or not, if you're going to bring in another defender, we've got to really watch your wage bill.
Aye. But we've got Davis coming back. He's started training again, hasn't he?
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Though, if just say for example, Davies isn't fit enough, or something happens that he can't play on Saturday, you know, we can't just go out and buy another centre back and bring another centre back in, because obviously we can't afford to make the same mistakes as 2012. Right, that won't happen again. But we have to seriously watch the finances. We can't just go out and sign 2 or 3 players when we've already got a squad that's full.
Aye, I know that. But I would have Sands playing in defence. I know they say he's a midfielder, but he's been doing a good job. A defender, but he was a left back, but stuck him in defence. He's done a job there. I think Leon needs another season or 2 under his belt. I think he'll be ready then. He plays better than Goldson was there. You were all singing his praises at the weekend against King of the South. I thought he was crap. I mean, look at the quality of the team.
He made one mistake.
He made one mistake.
Made one mistake. Any decent team would have scored a goal after that.
I know, but you can only play against the opposition you're put in front of. You know, Leon has come on a couple of times in the league last season, and
but Goldson's been there, and he's been all right. And Goldson's backing him up. But him to take the lead as a defender, I don't think he's not ready yet.
I don't think he's ready to be our number 1 centre half. Am I confident that he could play? Well, he'll not be our first choice. We're talking sake. If something happened in the midfield, we had to put Sands in, I'd be confident put Leon in there. It will not happen, and he's not going to be in. I reckon if Leon King gets 8 to 10 games this season, then next season he's ready to step up to like 20 games. It's going to be a slow process for these boys.
Right, who are we going to put in midfield if Lawrence is injured the next 2 games against Celtic and Ajax? Who's going to play Lawrence's place?
You have
Kamara,
Davis. Kamara and Lundstrom will play. Tillman will play ahead of them. Kent on the left, and then it's Matondo or Scott Wright on the right hand side.
Don't forget, Jack got 90 minutes against Queen of the South the other night as well. So you've got Ryan Jack there as backup. And so
I would have loved to see Lawrence against Celtic Saturday, see how he handles it.
Well,
I thought,
Jamie, have you seen the official report to say that Lawrence is injured?
No. We know that he was done after the last. Was it a PSV game? Wasn't it right on the final whistle? I didn't think that was it the PSV game? No. What game was it?
It was the game at the weekend.
Ross County.
Yeah.
He was doing it at full time. And didn't he look good? I must admit, you can see that boy when the full time whistle goes and he stays down, and 3 or 4 guys were in him. I thought to myself, that doesn't look good. Now, Gio came out and said he's fine, but that's not uncommon for Rangers not to say anything about it. If everything is everybody thinks they know, it sounds like he's out. So, but that's still not been confirmed. If he's out, then what? Scott Wright started in Europe, a European final. Scott Wright started in the Scottish Cup final, scored a goal. Scott Wright's going to start unless you want to play Rabbi Matondo, and that's just the way it is. Rangers he's asked for a right mid and was given 3 million, and we brought in Rabbi Matondo. So if he isn't good enough to play the now, then you go to your second choice, and it's Scott Wright.
Right, final question before I let you go.
I've got one more point.
All right, go for it.
Right, see them at the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
They played like they had 9 changes the other night. Still won 4-1 against Ross County. We had a different team out against Queen of the South, and I thought we were shy. That's the difference.
Well, that was it.
They had a.
Excellent.
I think Celtic as well had. They had the proper first choice centre mids playing.
Listen, all that goes out the window once in an Old Firm game. Doesn't matter. You couldn't care how they had played against all teams, how we've played. It all goes out the window.
I think the first tackle.
That's what we're relying on. See all the guys that were playing at the weekend. That's what we're relying on for backup. I mean, we've not really got. I know we're always talking about there's depth. We've got good depth in the squad, but I don't see it. What do you think of that?
I think you're wrong. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't think Celtic would have qualified for the Champions League the way we've qualified. That's what I think.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
But that was way off our main first team.
Right.
And once some of them are out, where we go?
Right, I'll tell you what I'll do, right? This is the...
If Tillman gets injured.
I know, but it's all ifs, buts and maybes. If your best player gets injured in any team, then you're going to struggle. Right, we've got Alan McGregor, John McLaughlin, Robbie McCrory, Tavernier and Devine, right? Borna and Yilmaz, hold on. Goldson, King, Suter, Davies, Hollander and Sands. And then we've got Lundstrom, Davis, Jack, Arfield, hold on, Kamara, McCann and Offabor, although Offabor is obviously...
but we've got one main fit defender, Connor Goldson. The other one's a midfielder. The other one's just come up with the youths.
But it doesn't matter, because that's our squad. We don't have the money to keep adding more to that squad.
We can't add any more to that defence.
We can't add any more to
that. No, we can't add any more, but maybe we should maybe we should have got a shot at that one. Maybe get another one in. It's no injury prone.
The problem is you can't get shot at Hollander because he's injured.
Nobody will buy him.
Davies has just come in. Sutter's just come in, and he's obviously down injury. We've just got rid of Katic. And so
that's the problem we're going for. We're going for all these 3 players on a free that are all fucking injury prone. You know what I mean? That's the problem with us. We're getting players that come in and are injury prone. They play a couple of games in a row. Well, you've got Ruth. How long's he been on the pitch?
I don't think
Fucking played about 3 games and then he's injured for about 2 months.
Nobody's going to argue with you about Ruth.
Helander, many times has he been injured? And it's always big or long injuries he gets. He's out for months and end.
But we're in that now. We can't get out of that by buying more players. because you need to get rid of players, but we can't get rid of them because nobody will buy them. So you can only get rid of players if folk want them. You can't ship them.
buy them because they're injury prone. We're stuck with them.
Which leaves you in a catch-22 then, because obviously you can't bring in more because you need to watch that wage bill. Right, I want to ask you this before I let you go, because I want to get everybody's opinion that phones in the night on this. Are you confident right now as it sits at 10 o'clock at night and we haven't made any signings, right? Are you confident with the squad that we have for the upcoming season or for the season that's obviously just underway?
I'll say this. I think we might be all right at Christmas, but come January we're going to need to do some serious business. How's that sound?
That's more positive than I was expecting, so I'll take that.
Fair enough. All right, lads. Enjoy the rest of the pod. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, William.
Bye, Willie.
See, there you go. See what happens when you get family on and they start shouting at you. Tell you.
Listen,
Maybe know
mate,
where you get your negativity from.
and your lack of football knowledge.
Oh,
Yes!
I'll cop that later. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run through this team again, right? We'll do defenders, goalkeepers, we'll discuss it, and then midfielders, etc. And we'll discuss that, right?
Can we just go goalkeepers first?
I tell you what, we'll just do goalkeepers first, right? Because you're looking that hot. We'll do goalkeepers
He
first.
looks roasting, doesn't he?
So it's boiling.
Mate, it's that, see that studio light up there? So that studio light is beaming down right on the napper.
Right, so Alan McGregor, John McLaughlin, Robbie McCrory, Ross. Goalkeeping wise, we're okay. Yes.
No, I would have liked to have seen another brought in.
We've got 3 goalies, that's good enough for me.
Robbie McCrory's not good enough. Alan McGregor said he would have chucked it after the 55 season, wanted to play last season, cost us numerous points. And this season, if John McLaughlin was to get injured tomorrow in training, you've got a 40-year-old McGregor who's not been playing, coming into the fold for 3 big games. I mean, I think we should have invested in a goalkeeper. I'll never... It's a cross I'm willing to die on that hill.
Because it's supposed to be that hill you're willing to die on.
It's the cross on the hill, mate.
It's a cross on the hill, right? Before we get any deeper into that, we've got another caller on the phone, and I believe it's Max. Max, how are you?
How you doing, boys?
How's it
Just
going?
sat down the boat there with the funny haircut and the suit on. What's that all about, man?
That is our reporter extraordinaire.
I could say something else, but I'll keep it clean there tonight. How you doing anyway?
I'm no bad, Max. How are you, buddy?
Oh, fucking pissed off, mate. My illness is driving me nuts. I suffer from epilepsy and my head's going fucking mental, and excuse my French.
No, listen, it's after 9 o'clock at night. You can have as much
Thank
French as
fuck,
you
'cause
want.
I swear like a trooper.
Oh, fuck away, mate. Fuck away.
What's your thoughts?
No, I don't know. I was expecting this. Was it Ederson or Emerson? I was
Evander.
hoping they were going to sign him
Evander.
tonight,
Evander.
but I don't see anything happening at all.
How would you feel if nothing does happen, if Rangers don't bring a surprise? You confident? Are you...
I would have liked another striker, to be quite honest with you.
Well,
But I don't know, we've got no bad squad, but it just seems to all be fucking injured now.
I think it's, Ross, it's the injuries in key positions that we're struggling with, isn't it?
See this.
What's this that with Suter? Is he injured or is he still grieving his brother? Or because did his brother not just die lately?
Yeah.
Bradley.
I think, Martin, as I say, a lot of our fears tonight, this could be a totally different podcast if Rangers had released an injury update and told you Ben Davis is in with a shout at the weekend, Hillander's 6 weeks away, Roof's back in training and he's expected to join the squad next week, Alfredo Morelos has trained well all week and he's ready to go. See, there's a lot of question marks over our team because you don't know how far. Kemar Roof, take him for an example. I'm saying we need an extra striker. Eddie's boots on the other day said something was pending. Not sure if it's his turkey hairdo or his fitness. Something's pending. But how long is it going to take? What is pending for him? Because he doesn't just go out for a couple of days. He goes out for months and months at a time. And do you know what's so frustrating? The last caller talking about us signing players like Roof. See if Kemar Roof wasn't injury prone, he wouldn't be playing for a team like us. He would be playing top 6 EPL.
It's hindsight then, Max, right? But see, on that point, if Kemar Roof was an injury prone, then we wouldn't have signed him. So should we have signed him?
No, he shouldn't have signed him. They knew the problems with the guy. He's been injured when he was at Leeds. He was injured at that. Is it a Belgian team he was playing for as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They signed him. He was actually injured when they signed him. I don't understand that.
No.
I can't understand it because it's been going on for years. You get me back to Daniel Prodan and people like getting back to the 90s.
No.
But see, JD, these are the conversations we're not having. If maybe the board are just like Ross says, a wee bit more transparent.
I've also heard about Davies. He's not supposed to be injured. He's supposed to be having a family problem or something going on now.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what it is, and I'm not going to guess, but apparently it's
I don't know what it is either, but I've just heard he's had a family problem, so I don't want to surmise anything and fucking make anything up, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of unluckiness involved in a lot of this stuff just now. I think the thing I would say about Roof is, if he's fit or whatever, and he's going to be a third choice striker, he's more than good enough technically to be a third choice striker for Rangers. He's probably too good to be a third choice striker for Rangers. It's his injuries.
I was praying for him to go to Derby or fucking Cardiff or something just to get shot him half our treatment table.
I know what you're saying, but when
he never plays.
Well, he did. The year we won 55, he played out that right hand side lots of times.
Listen, I think as well the issue with Roof is he's going to be a big earner.
That's the problem as well.
And Hollander is also going to be a bigger earner coming as a free. Do you know what I mean? So it's no youth players and stuff that are sitting on the bench. It's big earners that cost us multi-million pound transfers.
Let me ask you a question. And if
Yes,
Hollander,
a million a year as well, so just get down the drain. I don't know what it is with us with injury-prone players over the years. I remember, was it the Russian guy? He played one game and he got his leg broken and he never played again.
Prodan.
Kuznetsov or something like that.
Kuznetsov.
Right, JD,
I'm actually all for these guys.
No, Kuznetsov, I remember. JD, you were going to ask a question.
I was going to ask a question. If Roof's fit, and he's fit, right? The problem we've got with Roof, right, before I ask my question is, we've not seen him since Seville. Did he actually do a pre-season? If the answer's no, then he's no pending to fucking December, right? However, if Roof is fully fit right now, and we're all mourning he's injury prone, but if Roof is fully fit right now, does he start? No. If Hollander's fully fit right now, does he start? No.
Possibly.
So, possibly, maybe.
I reckon he start because I'm not match fit, so it's going to take a couple of months to get him running, and then by the time Roof gets up running, he's fucking injured again.
I'm asking the question, hypothetically, if he's fit, he doesn't start before Cholak, and Hollander's not starting before any other two, they know either, so we're mourning about players that are injured, who wouldn't be playing them? It just gives you a stronger squad.
No, but on that point, no, JD, if Hollander was fully fit, then we wouldn't have tested Sands at centre-back.
Perhaps.
You know what I mean?
What's the problem with Hollander's? Did he break his foot or toe or something? He's got some problems with his foot.
See, the problem that we have, Max, as supporters, is that Rangers don't tell you anything. And I'm not just talking about transfers. I'm talking about, we still don't know the extent of Alex Lowry's injury, whether it's going to be weeks, months, or a full season.
I agree with you there. Plus that young power boy, it was before that, I can't pronounce his fucking name. Offie Bora, young boy that signed for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And they're not even giving you any updates on that. Fair boy, you know what I mean? He's not played for fucking well over a year.
I would be very surprised if we ever see Offie in the Rangers script. It's unfortunately heart problem. And
Listen, but you look at other people who've had. Look, Christian Eriksen's the perfect example. I see a lot of folk when I'm reading through the forum saying just pay off for bar off, just get him. But as a club, you've got a duty of care. We all watched it at the Euros or the World Cup. Christian Eriksen was lying dead on the park, and he's just signed for Man United. Like the boys obviously signed. The boys obviously signed for us. It's came up that he's got this issue, but you can't just release him and write him off. Like you've got to.
That's no odd, man. You can't. It's only a young boy as well.
I actually.
You keep an eye on him, look after him. But I wish you could use a wee bit more information. As you said, they don't get you fuck all at Ibrox. Nothing about anybody.
I like this caller. They swear more than me. It's good, man. I like it. Just make me feel at home.
Can I play devil's advocate on that one, right? And I understand we do have a duty of care, right? But the Rangers
I'm
not
in a mental home, mate. I'm fucking nuts.
surely.
Just before you come in, JD, Max, I've got a couple of guys waiting to come on just before they hang up. So, listen, thanks very much for the call, and make sure you phone
Cheers, Max.
But make sure it's
Right,
after
boys, okay,
9.
you take it easy, okay? Take care.
Cheers, Max. Right, sorry, JD, you were going to make a point there, buddy. And just before you do it again, my apologies. Andrew Taggart, you became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. If you want to become a member, then join the Rabble community. And we've got another member show on Sunday. Then click the join button below, or the link is in the description. So I will not interrupt you again, JD. My apologies.
No, it's fine. It's nothing really. Folk won't agree with me, but I understand we've got a duty of care for these things, and sometimes these things just happen. I'm really surprised that he passed a medical if there's been this issue with his heart, right? No, he's a player. Football players come with all the. At what point? Eriksen's, God bless him, died on a park, got brought back to life, and is back playing football now. Mm-hmm. What is up with Nandi? We need to know, like, and if it's worse, then there's insurances involved in all these type of things.
Does it get much worse than being dead? That's the question I would like to ask.
But see, we don't know what the issue is with the boy and his heart.
The difference with Eriksen is his issue can be sorted by the fitting of a pacemaker, which allows. So obviously, there's.
It can't be any worse than that. It can't be any worse than that, can it?
I missed a new member as well. My apologies, TY Ty. I think that's how you pronounce that. Thank you for becoming a part of the Rabble community. We also have another caller on the line. My apologies, Ross. I'm just going to bring him in right now. It's Random Madness. Random, how you doing? Are you there, Random? Are you watching us on the YouTube in behind and you're getting a late? There we are. How you doing, buddy? All right?
I am here. He's here.
Aye, hear you.
It needs to go on your phone, mate.
Aye. Put you on the telly and put you on the phone and take the take.
Aye, just mute the background and go on the phone.
Right, aye.
What's your thoughts?
Right, I'm trying to turn down to say, guys.
The joys of doing stuff.
Is that better?
There we go.
There we go. You're in.
Back in the room.
I've kind of missed talk today. Have we managed to get him in yet?
No. Short answer to your question.
No.
What's your thoughts on that?
No.
No.
Any news about any of the injuries?
No.
No.
You've still got the show in the background because I can hear it.
Talking. Right, we were felt when these guys came in, there was going to be transparency with the fans, and we're getting nothing to the club.
This is what I've already mentioned tonight, Ross, and I think we'll have to continue mentioning it. I don't think it's going to change, but it's the way that the board want to run the club.
I mentioned the transparency thing on the earlier podcast I was on, mate. There's been secret squirrels, right? And then there's been secret squirrels. See, for me, I can hear again. See if it was for me, the club could totally wipe out a lot of fans' fears that we've left the squad threadbare by telling you that a couple of the boys are a week away, 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
See the fact that they're not telling you that they're near, automatically you think they're miles away. Like Hadji was dropping hints that he was going to be back for the Europa League final and stuff like that, know what I mean? But, so, how far away is he? What is the scheduled time that he's due back? Because folk at ACLs get get the operation done and they're back playing in like 6-7 months. Haji's been out for how long? Over a year? Must be. It was one of the first games of last season, wasn't it?
You know,
The thing is,
I genuinely can't even remember. We have got another call now. You can't hear him yet, so I'm just going to give him a quick warning that yes, it is past the watershed. However, I think there was a wee bit too much swearing with Max. So welcome, Curry Muncher.
Fuck's sake, Max.
Wait a minute. I think I've sworn once in this. And you have to
Just read your thoughts, Curry.
Listen, I just want to say a big shout out for Ross there, putting a special suit on there. Is that his court suit by any chance?
Listen, I got my wee brother got me it when I was best man at his wedding, so it's actually my court, job interview, funeral, christening, Kaylee, out to the dancing. It's the all-in-one suit.
the brew.
Listen, I take the suit off and it walks to the cupboard itself, mate. It's been worn that much, but listen, I tried to bring a bit of humour to the pod tonight, Curry, because I knew it was going to be a dreich one. Know what I mean?
You're looking good.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for that.
What's your thoughts, Curry, on the overall transfer situation that we currently find ourselves in?
Right, and you just helped me know to swear.
I did, mate. I did. My apologies.
God, I think I'm going to convey what everybody's saying in the chat near enough, and what you guys are saying. I'm really worried. I am really, really worried. But I think we've done well with some of the guys we've brought in. I think we're going to be really good for the team. I don't think we've brought in enough. I think that Ross was saying we are one injury away from a bloody disaster this season. If we, as he said with the goalie, if McLaughlin gets injured, we're going to have Shagger back in. Is he good? Aye. Can he still do it? No. Maybe 80% of the time, but not the way he used to be. If Kolak gets injured, we are up to kick without a paddle. Because we can't rely on Malfi. As much as I love him, he's that much of a liability. We don't know whether he's got to, the next time he comes out, spits a dummy again, or he comes out and plays like his old Alfie, with the one that we know and the one that we want.
See, just on that point, Curry, Curry, just on that point, mate, right, because that is the point I was making earlier on, and I'm going to take that to JD. Until such times, JD, as Alfie is match fit, ready to go, and we've discussed Ruth for how long, we don't know what's going to happen. Kolak obviously is our only main fit striker. So it's a difficult one, JD, because we've just spoke about how we can't go and spend money, etc., because of the wage bill we've got. But is the striking department the one place that we could have afforded to bring somebody else in?
I think not for me. I think we desperately need a right midfielder, a right winger before a striker. I think it hints at Morelos being close, if not almost ready. I think it hints at Ruth being very near close. I agree, if we get an injury tomorrow at training and it's Cholak, then you're playing with a Scotty Arfield or a Tillman as a false nine come Saturday and Wednesday, which is a disaster, and that's probably the only reason why we would do it. But I'm not. We've all of a sudden turned Morelos into this fucking mad villain who actually hasn't been sent off since when? 2020 or something like that. He never got. So all of a sudden he's this fucking mad guy we can't rely on, when fucking 9 weeks ago he was a darling. He was the main man. So I think Cholak will score more goals than him, but Morelos can offer something. I'm cool with it. There's a reason why we weren't linked with any strikers this window. There's a reason why the boy Raskin they're about to press a button on it if Kamara leaves, and we decide not to. We needed to wait, and then the Kamara deal falls through, so we don't hit the button on Raskin. I think it was a midfielder they were going to go for, and it's not happened. I don't think they were going to go for any striker ever.
I'll take that back to you, Curry.
Right, well, I'm looking at a piece here, right, about the money. Apparently, when they're asking, Liège were looking for 5 million, but the board don't see that value in them, especially when they can get them free next year. Free in January. That's if he decides to come here. So that might be a lot of rubbish. They're looking to activate the auction for Sands 4 million and Tillman 5 million. Apparently, that 9 million has been fenced for that.
What's the source? What's the source on that, Curry?
Pardon?
What's the source on that?
It's one of the boys that I follow. He's put up. There's no source on it, but it's a. I can't see what it actually says, mate. Who the people are, but this is what the piece is saying, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just letting you know what it's saying.
I've seen it earlier.
I've seen it as well.
With that, I'll nearly swore again. That Ashley is apparently in the region of about 7 million, raising to 11.4 million. That's including legal fees, right? This is the money they're saying they're finding out, and 10 million for the new Edmondson House stands, right? That comes in roughly just about 30 million, right? As far as I'm aware, I think the rumour is it's roughly about 36 million for the Europa that we gained. 5 to 6 million we lost. We got in by Gerrard, McAllister and Beale. The money we got for Patterson, the money we got for Bassey, and the money we got for our Rebo, right? So we brought in roughly, I think in the region, about 55 million.
Well, you get the Champions League money on top of that as well.
Pardon? Aye. Well, it's another 3.5 million we got for the league. We could do. So it's just, I think we're getting short. I think the fans are getting shortchanged. They really are.
The worry you have with this, Twitter's whipping up a storm today. Guys that are not in the know, the only people that know these figures are people at the club. I seen somebody put that tweet and they were like, 10 million Joe Aribo, and I said, but we didn't get 10 million up front for Joe Aribo. We get 5 or 6 million for Joe Aribo. Aye, it might go to 10. Patterson, 20 million. We didn't get these fees for these boys. We go, you don't get that. In football, you're lucky if you get half of that up front. It's always over the space of 3 or 4 years. We're probably.
He's actually saying that we're buying players. We're not
that's
right away either.
Aye, that's what I think that as well.
Exactly.
Curry's right. If we're getting a fraction in for a player, you're also paying a fraction out for a player and packaging it over a deal, know what I mean? So it is swings and roundabouts. It definitely is.
Aye, but we're pulling in more than we're outletting, so it's a bigger shout the other way.
The money.
I just think I think we're going to struggle unless the players that we've brought in really hit the ground running, which I hope they do, and the injuries that we've got come back sooner rather than later. I think that's what's worrying me more than anything else is our injuries. If the boys that weren't injured were in, I would be absolutely fine with the way the board have spent so far on some really good quality players like Tillman and Lawrence and Kolak. Really, they are 3 excellent signings for us. So we can't complain at that. It just seems to be the numbers that we've got. Because Alfie's no signed and because Kent's no signed yet, I don't understand why that's no been. That should have been done the day at the latest. They two should have been signed. If they're no signed, I reckon it's quite obvious that they're gone at the end of the season.
Yeah, Martin, can I jump in next? I had a conversation earlier on with my mates about that. Perhaps we see a bigger rebuild next summer, Champions League or whatever, right? We might not be able to do it this summer because who's Hollander, Roof, probably Kamara, Davis, Arfield, McGregor, Morelos, Kent could all be gone next summer. There are a lot of wages there that frees up, but that's nearly 7, 8, 9 players you might need to replace, and then you still need to progress on top of that. You could be looking at 10 players, 12 players next summer, naturally, because of contract situations. and age.
The only thing I would say back to that is, right, and listen, this could all be completely wrong, because we could go out and with the squad that we've got and perform really well in the Champions League,
Yeah.
beat them on Saturday and win the league, right? We could, right? But if we don't, right, if we do not, and if we turn up against Ajax and the rest of them and we don't play well and we're beat, whatever, right? If it doesn't go well, the club are asking us to fork out a lot of money. The Champions League packages aren't cheap. The Castore gear hasn't been cheap. They're forever sending emails saying buy this and buy that, which the majority of fans are willing to do because they want to support the club. If the board don't then reinvest that money properly, then they're backing themselves into a corner and they're making Gio's job really, really difficult for them.
It's got to be. I think it's got to be. It'll be a 50-50 season. It could go either way.
If you see the way Celtic have played, I'll take it 50-50.
I just don't want to see what happened last year, where we played without a striker for 3 months.
I know. That's that. Listen, that's of course the big worry with Root. And
There's
Morelos. Listen, Curry, thank you very much for the call, buddy.
Cheers, Curry.
Curry.
See you later, guys. Take it easy.
I've just had a thought. I've just had a thought. See if there's obviously wee sneaky rumours going about that maybe Tav is carrying a knock, right? Adam Devine fills in it right back, and you've got Maeda running at him on Saturday and Calvin Bassey running at him on Wednesday night. That's horrendous.
Is it?
Is it?
Aye.
I don't think if Tav doesn't make it cut come Saturday, Devine's not going to go there. I think you play Jack or Sands before that.
So that's what I'm saying. So again, it's back to that youth player. See the three that I've spoke about 100 times. You've got Lowry, McCann, King. We know a wee bit about them, so you've got faith in them.
Yeah.
So that boy could be every bit as good. That's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't even getting down on the boy. What I'm saying is that boy could be every bit as good, but you've just not had the chance to see him because other boys got games last year. You're terrified that it would terrify me, but the wee guy could be every bit as you don't know.
I know. Can I just say we have a caller, but before I bring him in, my wee brother today signed a professional contract.
Your wee brother?
My little brother, yes. Signed a professional contract for a football team in the SPFL.
Oh, lovely.
I'm very, very proud of him. Very proud. Very, very, very proud.
I wish I could say the same about my wee brother.
I don't know if he would ever consider going to a club who have just released their manager. So yeah, congratulations to my wee brother Adam signing for Dundee United.
Yeah, well done, Adam, mate.
It's not my favourite club in the world, but I'm very, very proud of my little brother.
As you know,
What position does he play, man?
All across the midfield, attacking mid. He can play left wing, right wing. He's very good. Jam even. Yeah, he's very, very good. Anyway, we do have a call.
What is it, mate? I swear to God, I thought you were doing charades for Stevie Wonder singing "Signed, Sealed, Delivered."
It's the heating zone because we're going away tomorrow, so we're trying to dry some clays, and I've opened the back door, and of course, man, this thing's just come in.
Right, can I bring the caller on now, or are you two?
Listen, stick your collar on. Line them up. Me and JD will fire them down. Line them up.
Channel member Ian Ross, welcome. How you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing fine tonight. Thanks very much.
What's your
great news for you, Martin. I wish your brother Adam all the best at Dundee United. Even though I hate them, I'd like to see them doing well. You know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I catch 22.
I just want to ask you guys. Don't you seriously think that if Gio seriously wanted somebody in this window, the board wouldn't have backed him? Do you seriously think that? Because I'm of the opinion that Gio hasn't asked for anybody.
Do you know something? That's something that I've not seen mentioned at all.
I mentioned it about half an hour ago, Martin.
Well, I wasn't.
I think you're exactly right, Ian. I think that a lot of folk are getting on Ross Wilson's back, but Van Bronckhorst did say in his interview post PSV or post Ross County, he said he was satisfied, feels if he's got everything he needs, he's ready to go.
PSV.
Aye, so I'm.
Surely, we can't be that. He can't possibly think that we are that desperate to bring a marquee signing in. If he was that desperate, he would have asked. He would have asked the board, and he would have got the money. It's not as if we don't
Not
have
necessarily.
a lot of money there. They would give him the money to bring something in. He obviously feels that the squad we have is good enough to get us through what's coming up.
And that is the cross on the hill that he'll be dying on if it doesn't work out for him. That's what I said earlier on. Van Bronckhorst said he was happy. See, as soon as he says he's happy, then the onus is on him. He's the manager. He picks the team. He trains them. So if he's happy, we should all be happy. But as a support, you always want to strive for more.
I'm going to ask this, right?
Yeah,
Hold on, Ian. Hold on, Ian. I'll take it to JD first, Ian, and then I'll come back to you. Right? I might get shot down. I might get shot down for this, right? But JD, we've made 6 or 7 signings or whatever it is, right? We've not made any since qualifying for the Champions League. It is now coming towards the end of the transfer window, and we haven't signed anybody on deadline day. Are we all just maybe overreacting a wee bit, JD?
I think we are. We've signed 7 players. That's big in any team to bring 7 players in. Do we want another player? Aye. I don't buy the whole Gio's told us his squad was fine, it's fine, right? Somebody said it there. Managers will always want more. They'll always want more. You try to tell me Gio's no savvy enough to look at his right-hand side and say, oh, Matondo and Scott Wright aren't good enough to the Champions League. We all can see that, but he's left with it. Look at the managers doing the Prem. Scott Parker made it clear he wanted to make more signings. He'd already bought in 4 or 5, and the board has said to him, well, if you're not getting any more players, so Scott Parker came out and said that again, he gets sacked. Gio's not going to come out and say, I want more players, and then tomorrow they go, Gio, what happened to you? Oh, I didn't get them. That already causes friction. So Gio's an employee. We've all worked with places where you toe the line and you say something that you expect your boss wants to hear. That doesn't mean that Gio didn't want and hasn't asked. We've got Ross Wilson. Ross Wilson's a man that picks. Ross Wilson's also a fucking bean counter. So Ross Wilson's job is to balance the books, not to splash of cash. So I'm not buying that Gio didn't want to buy more players, because I reckon we would always want more. I just think that they've said the squad's big enough. We need to let folk out before we let folk in. They said that again earlier on in the season as well, but it might be 1 in, 1 out. I reckon if somebody left, we would have seen somebody come in, somebody big, I mean. So Kamara out, somebody comes in. But no, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Van Bronckhorst is not in control of that. Gio says he wants something. They will tell him, you've had your money. That's what we've got a budget. Van Bronckhorst might have tried to push it and go, I want to give another 2 or 3. No, mate, you've had your 10, 15 million. So I don't
get a bigger budget, JD, but if you qualify for the Champions League.
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, and that's why we're all a little bit like, oh, come on. Even a loan signing, something. Although a loan signings don't work out.
I'll let you come back in on that, Ian.
Well, JD, don't you think, JD, that he would have been promised money on qualification for the Champions League? He must have been promised something on qualification. I mean, you're looking at 40 million.
He obviously was.
We don't get 40 million.
I know we don't get that, Martin. But they're going to get at least 8 million on ticket sales alone.
From Van Bronckhorst's comments the other night, I think his budget was all about qualifying for the Champions League, and they gave him the full whack up front and said, "Get your players in, and we'll use them to get to the Champions League." And that's the way it came across in his interview. I still believe he would have still tried to get another. After he'd done it, he would have went back and said, "I know you've said, but these are my 7 players, but I've got to say, I'm going to slip us another 1 or 2," and it's been a no. I don't believe that Van Bronckhorst controls that at all. Ross Wilson's a director of FITBA. He's a stern one. He's a tight one. He's there to balance the books. it's his decision.
Yeah. You could be right there, JD. There's just
I
one
think,
more
man, there's
thing I
always
want
more
to
players.
touch on, Martin, if that's okay with you.
Yep, no worries, Ian. Fire away.
I, for the life of me, and we've spoken about this before, Martin, for the life of me, I cannot understand people's negativity on bringing the youth players into the team. I just can't get my head round it whatsoever. And I mean, I know that people are saying, you know, well, they bring them in at Bayern, but their B team or the reserves, they play in a higher league. That's rubbish. And, you know, when you see these players, if they're good enough, they're old enough. And if they don't get a chance, they're going to lose them. That must be the worry come the end of the season. If you're not going to give the likes of Charlie McCann and King and Lowry a decent number of games, then they're going to lose them. You know, I can't understand why people can't see the logic in that.
Well, I think everybody knows, Ian. I think, I would like to hope so anyway. Excuse me, that the rabble has always been one for pushing the youth. We do our academy reviews, we attend V team games, and it's actually something. And Ross, I'll take this to you. It's actually something that we've spoke about tonight already. I think there is one or two youths in there who are more than ready to come through. But on Ian's point, Ross, which was, you know, fans sometimes aren't always happy when the, you know, youth players are brought through and stuff like that. Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's trepidation? Thank you.
I think it's because I nearly said the older team. It's not the older team. It's the people are used to Rangers going out and signing your Gazas and stuff like that, and they forget that players like Davy Cooper and guys like that were Scottish, played with Rangers and done well. And I think you've got that. He's not got an Italian sounding name, or he's not got a foreign sounding name, so he's going to be shite. We spoke a wee bit earlier on about the boys that you could sign for the SPFL that would come in and do a job for you. See what we're talking about. I think it was you that mentioned it earlier on, JD, about people who could have come in and played would have been quite happy to come to Rangers, take a wage and be a third or fourth choice striker. Yeah. On a season-long deal. There's hundreds of players in Scotland. There's good players in Scotland and in League One and in the Championship down south. But at Rangers, especially with the Champions League money, we wanted a marquee signing. But nobody wants. I'm not saying nobody wants a youth to come through. That's totally the wrong thing to say. What you want is a good mix of youths. You can't bring 7 or 8 youths through, and I've said this a few times. The 3 this season, if we can get 15 games out of them, you'll be doing well. And then the next season, it's the next ones that come up, your Adam Devines, and maybe your Lovelaces at 17, and maybe your Robbie, your Hingy Ewers. Like, you can't bring 6 of them through at one time and expect them to go and play competitive football. But as I said, last season you've seen a wee bit of Lowry. You've seen quite a bit of Lowry. You've seen a bit of King. Obviously McCann done well away on loan. I said earlier on he got capped for Northern Ireland. They never got called up to the squad, the full squad. So, as I said, these players are no diddies, mate. They're absolutely not diddies. But at the same time, we need them to hit the ground running. Look at Matondo, a £3 million signing, and he's not getting time. Because even I've been on saying for £3 million you expect better. But if a young boy comes in and does the same thing, he's too young, he should be playing in the B team.
But Ross, see the cameos we've seen of Lowry and of McCann,
yes,
already have eclipsed anything Matondo's done in his opportunities.
Aye. I'm not disputing it. What I'm saying is they boys, because they've came through the youth team. Well, Gio sees them in pre-season. Gio Van Bronckhorst watches him in pre-season. And what squad did he allocate McCann to? He's been playing B team all season, hasn't he? Lowry's been playing B team all season. King's been promoted to the first team. So that tells me in myself, that Van Bronckhorst didn't want them to be predominantly first team players this season. He wanted them to be in the B team but train with the first team, get another season under their belts playing against adults and fully matured people in the Rangers style of play, and then bed them in. Maybe after Christmas they might get moved up the squads, but we're now left ourselves in a position where we're going to be relying on them. And that puts extra pressure on young players.
Yeah, it does. It does. Ian, thank you very much for the call, buddy.
Okay, Martin. Thanks a lot, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, Ian.
Cheers. I'll talk to you later.
Cheers, Ian.
So another one thing we haven't actually spoke about much that we probably should maybe touch on, JD, and it's been a pretty, I don't know, not depressing, but negative show, and it's probably going to get a wee bit more negative now. Let's be honest. Have the club, in a way, been good enough, the board or Ross Wilson, selling or releasing players that are no longer needed? Or is there, apart from obviously your Highlanders, we don't know if we want to keep them, Roofs, etc., the injury-prone players, understand why they can't go. And we don't know who Gio likes and who Gio doesn't like, but we've already discussed the wage bill. Not how much it is, but how many players we've got in the squad. In order to bring in more players, we will need to get rid of players. We don't, and I'm talking myself into a cul-de-sac here, right? But have the club been good enough at getting maybe rid of players that are not surplus to requirements?
We've said that. The problem I have with that is we bring in a player who turns out to be no good enough. I know we got rid of Katic. It took us a while. Because we're Glasgow Rangers, they come in and quadruple their wages. You go back to like your Stewarts and stuff like that, and I like Greg Stewart, but you struggle to get rid of these players because they signed for Rangers and they were on $1,000 wherever they were, and all of a sudden they come to Rangers, they're on $8-9 grand. Now they're never going to get that money to where their true level is, and I think that's the problem. It's not about getting rid of them. I think you can get rid of players. Rangers can get rid of players, no bother, because MD will buy a player off Rangers because they go, a Rangers player, we'll take him. It's the wages that we stupidly get. Go back to the Kevin Kyle story. Kevin Kyle was with Hearts or whoever it was, and he was offered £800 with somebody, and because we like to Kevin, how about him? Like, aye, and he went like, right, Kevin, $4 grand, and he was like, all right, no bother. He was just been offered £800. He was like, I would have went to Rangers for £1,000 a week. It went right in with the $4 grand bid. We almost as a team, Rangers, we come to us, here's your money. No, if you're with Hibs or Aberdeen and you want to sign for Rangers and you're on £2 grand with them, right, come on to us and we'll give you 3.5. Not treble your wages. Who do we think we are? We've already been through a lot of pain for that, and that's why we can't ship players out.
You go along with that, Ross?
Mate, I totally agree with it. As we spoke about the day, that what we done in 2012 worked for us to an extent, but probably set the youth movement at Rangers back a bit. We lost out on players who could have probably been really valuable because, as you say, JD, players like Cammy Bell sitting talking to his agent. What we got, I will try and get $3 grand a week at them, and we open our offer with 7, and he ends up getting 8.5.
That's ridiculous.
So that's what we done. We absolutely threw money at frauds. Know what I mean? And
the club was in the club was in a much different position back then with people running it, and we didn't have a youth setup, we didn't have a scouting system, we didn't have anything. But
Martin,
that could take place in a full pod itself.
Yes, have I got a scouting section there now? Because we could be doing with a striker and a goalie and a right back.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the way, people are asking about Tav. No idea whether he's fit or not. We were told last night, and obviously we don't name names, and we were told last night that there could possibly be an issue with Tav. Whether that's true or not, listen, we don't speculate. We don't pretend that we've got inside information. There's a couple of people that we know that are close to the club, and they sometimes tell us things, and whether it's true or not, we don't know. So I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, Tav's injured or Tav's not injured. JD, we don't know. No,
we don't. It's never nice to hear, especially a player like that who's so critical to what we do. So it is worrying. I don't even want to think about that, to be honest, because that does throw a massive span on the works. know what else. I know you put your faith in what you've got. It might only be a one week injury, but if Tav is out for Saturday and Wednesday, say he's out for a week, he misses the 3 big games, the 3 away games at Amsterdam, Parkhead and Aberdeen. Why the fuck did we not just go and get somebody in loan today? Why did we got a right back in loan?
Because he might be fine.
Why did we give it? What's, as I said earlier on as well, what's given me reassurance that Tav's all right is the fact that we sent the Polish boy that we signed as a right back out.
Because he wasn't good enough.
But he wasn't good enough, Ross. He was never going to make. He couldn't even get a game for the B team.
William Owen says to me after I think it was the second time he watched him. He's got a long way to go before he's anywhere near ready for that for the first team, and then months later, he's still nowhere near ready for the first team.
But what my point is now, if Tav is injured, we're going with Adam Devine,
who is better than Tchaikovsky.
Aye, as a first choice. But who's setting behind him?
Ryan Jack,
Sands.
Right back. Sands. Leon King can play right.
Listen, do you play Borna or Ridvan out in the right? Perhaps because they're fullbacks. You maybe need to do that. That's why I see Tav. He's a machine. If he's injured and he doesn't play, then you know it's bad. See if he's 50-50, he'll play.
He'll play, aye. 100%. Right, but listen, the Old Firm preview's tomorrow night. We're going to... So everybody watching, please do join us at 7:30 tomorrow night for the Old Firm preview. This might seem like a bit of a silly question after everything that we have just discussed. Ross, has it been a good transfer window?
Listen, I think it has. I think it's been, and I seen somebody on Twitter saying we're going through the stages of grief here and we're now at acceptance and we're trying to tell ourselves that it has went well, but listen, in our league setting, I think Cholak will score more goals than Anitten. I think Cholak will score more goals than Morelos. Listen, I think the boy Tillman looks every bit as good as Aribo did when he first came. So by the time Tillman settles, he'll be decent. Tom Lawrence, it looks like an absolute machine. And listen, it's unfortunate that it's not a muscle injury with John Souttar. He's broke his foot. Am I right in saying that?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
For what I heard, it was a broken foot. So see that can happen to anybody. I think. Listen, as I said to you the other day, John Souttar will push Connor Goldson when fit for that first choice right centre back position. Mm-hmm. And if you look to the left hand side, you've now got Hollander when he comes back for injury, if he ever comes back for injury, and you've got Ben Davis, who's a £4 million or a £3 million signing. So the squad, listen, John McLaughlin's our first choice goalkeeper now. We've improved that position for last year just by promoting from within. So I don't think the squad's necessarily in a worse place than it was last season. I've seen people saying we look a bit weaker than we were at the end of last season to now, but I don't really see that. I think we're just starting to gel. We've obviously went and done it in the big game in Europe. Many times have we said, JD, we're a team that are set up to counter-attack because of the way we change and play our formation. So see when we go to Parkhead, we're going to go there on Saturday, and I think there's every chance we could go and beat them. I don't see why we couldn't. Nobody gave us a hope in hell of going to Eindhoven and beating PSV to get into the Champions League. Nobody gave us a hope, but this team on the big occasion can go and do it. This team, I've got every faith. I actually think we'll win on Saturday, right? That's my personal opinion. I think we'll win on Saturday just because when the odds are against this Rangers team, they grind out a result for us.
Before we come to that, JD, because we'll touch very, very, very quickly, because we have got the preview tomorrow night, right? But I want to take that same question to you. Although, in the back of my mind, I'm going to ask JD first. I can't remember. So, see if I've already asked you this, I apologise. No. Has it been a good transfer window? Did I ask you that first, or did I ask you?
No, you haven't, but I think when you look at numbers, it's a good transfer window. On paper, it's a good transfer window. unfortunately, it's never always going to transfer that onto the football park. When we've seen Matondo getting bought, we were all excited again. It's not happened. It's going to maybe take him to January. It might never work. You get players who we sign that just doesn't work out. He might be one of them. Hopefully not, though, because it would be good to have a boy that settles down and plays regularly out there and is consistent. Would I like one more after the Champions League qualifier? Aye. But again, all in all, I'm cool with it. I'm a bit more alright with it after the weekend, after Tuesday, because I seen McCann and King, and I know it was only going to the south, but King stepped up and almost marshalled the whole defence. McCann got 10 minutes and looked brilliant and swivelled forward every time. So I'm alright. I actually think it's okay. I would have liked a right winger, to be honest, but we're not going to get that because we spent $3 million on man. So, but I'm alright about it. I'm alright, and I, Ross, I think we'll win on Saturday. I know.
Right, so the phone lines are closed because we're going to be finishing up shortly, but we're going to have a wee touch on the Old Firm in a wee second. Can I just please remind everybody who's watching, and there's been, I think all in, there's been like 2,000 people have clicked on and off, and we've got about 525 watching just now. Please do like and subscribe. We've just recently passed 6,000 subscribers. We're on about 93 members now, I think it is. And our videos view-wise are going up and up all the time, and that's thanks to your support. So if you want to join as a member as well, you can. Down below, the regulars know the score, but we're trying our best to make this, which it pretty much already is, but we're trying to make it an official TV channel. We put out, is it 7 videos a week already, JD?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Was it not? Yeah.
Yeah, and we've had 3 today. So
I was going to say that. I'm putting out 3 a day today.
You're putting out 3 days. Just while I got you back.
You'll get shut down in 2 weeks.
Mate, listen, I thought I was going to die with that suit on. I thought we were only coming on for a quick high and buy.
Oh, listen, no. The content is here for our subscribers.
Listen, if you're looking for a Rangers podcast, especially a live transfer man, there's only one place to go, Martin.
That's your studio.
Listen, the Sky studio worked well for what it was, but
you've started it now, Ross. You need to do it in January now.
Aye. You will be.
Go like it. Listen,
we're going to have you outside Ibrox in January.
Oh, what?
Will we? We'll do a live pod for outside Ibrox.
You get hounded, wouldn't you?
Listen, mate, I'll get hounded anyway.
Saturday. Let's, because we're going to finish up soon because people want to go to their beds. Because nothing's happening in the next hour. But in fact, quick question. An hour and 7 minutes to go. Definitely no business getting done.
Listen, I signed a new pet tortoise today on an 80 to 100 year contract, mate, so it's all good. It's all good, mate. I called it Tesla as well, so that's me. I've got a Tesla this month, and don't know if JD mentioned it, I'm getting a Tesla next month as well, so none of the two of them I've got handbrakes. But, sorry Martin, on to Saturday, sorry what we saying.
No, it was just an hour and 5 minutes to go. Transfer window, 100%, nothing happening.
Listen, I think the Ross Barkley thing could happen over the next couple of days. And can I just say as well, for the guy who keeps writing in the comments, I'm getting sick of asking you who you were playing golf with. It could be the Rangers. It was my wee brother, mate. I was only having a bit of fun. So, gonna give me peace, man. It was my wee brother. I was playing golf with him, and I came on here and made a quip. It was an inside joke to the boys, and now at this point in time, I'm getting bluttered in the comments off you, mate. So that's the explanation.
An hour and 5 minutes, JD. No business.
Nah, even with the kind of motor Ronaldo drives, he's not going to make up in time, is he? Because the game finished an hour ago. So I think we're done. I'm gutted about that. I thought we would have got somebody in, but I'm cool with the squad. Right.
Saturday, Ross. Quick thoughts before our live pod tomorrow night at 7:30. Old Firm preview. Your very brief thoughts about Saturday.
I think if we go and play the way we did away against PSV, then we've got nothing to be scared of. I'm similar to JD. I think if you flip it on its head the opposite way, I don't think Celtic would have qualified against PSV over 2 legs. All right, so that tells me that we've got the grit in there, and we've also got the ability to beat teams who want to come at us. Our problems when you're playing against a 10-man defence and we want to play that tippy-tappy, and that's the difference. Celtic have went and scored 9 goals at the weekend, but they had about 1,000,000 shots from outside the box. We're not doing that yet. We just need to click. Players like Tom Lawrence just need one of the big long shots to go in, and we'll be hammering teams as well. So, listen, we'll beat them 2-1, and Cholak will score a double, okay?
JD?
Yeah, listen, 3-1 away for him. 3-1 for Rangers now. 3-1 in an old firm's ludicrous for Rangers, so my tenner's on them. We'll need to ride an early storm, there's no doubt about it. They will come after us right for the outset. If we can weather that storm early doors, I'm confident Rangers will win. I really am. I know what they beat us a couple of times last year. I think Gio, astute, and learned for that. Brought the coaching staff are good. I'm more worried about injuries. Is my worry is the injuries. What's our starting 11 going to be? And then is that starting 11 going to be strong enough? You take Lawrence and Tav out of that, I'm worried. But I still expect us to win and want us to win. I think we will win.
Before you answer that question, Ross, it was put to you in the comments because I could see you're dying to answer it. RFC 56, welcome to the Rabble community. We are now 6 away from 3 digits in the members, which is incredible. 94 members we have now.
You signed up yet, Ross?
Mate, you should be paying me a wage. Think I'm going to pay for Martin's weekend in Cyprus?
Absolutely shocking.
Listen, terrible, man, terrible.
Can I just say, but in all honesty, we're getting so close to the goal that is Rabble TV.
I can't wait to see the analytics. I've been back on here for about 3 weeks or something. I reckon you must have jumped up 700 members since then. You were scraping the barrel, weren't you?
Over 126,000 views in August alone.
It's unbelievable.
Which is absolutely incredible. So is it a mobility Tesla, Ross?
No, it's absolutely not. Is he calling me is he saying I've got learning difficulties or something? That's what he was saying.
I mean, obviously I can't comment on that. You've just totally ruined the joke there, Ross.
What? Listen, no, it's not. It's just a Tesla, mate. It's my dream car.
The guy that's got a Tesla can't afford to pay $199 to become a channel member, Martin.
Listen. See if other people were produced. I'm only kidding on. The content's brilliant. Sorry. Would I want to pay $199 to watch myself for? I'm that brings the viewers in here.
This is very true, Ross.
Don't see any of yous wearing a suit and tie for the transfer deadline day. You know what I mean?
Do you know what?
At least you had the decency to put some talcum powder on your nude nut, JD, for the camera. That was good. I appreciate that.
That extra tenner is coming your way, Ross. That extra
Thank
tenner,
you, mate.
I promise you for wearing a suit, it's coming your way. Listen, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that good stuff. My thank you to JD. My thank you to Ross. Thank you to all the new members that have joined tonight, and thank you to all the members who have joined in the past. Everybody who helps support the channel, your help is greatly, greatly appreciated. What are you looking at?
Nothing.
All right, okay. Will we bring it up? Will we deal with it? I love the rabble, but Martin just seems like a mega money grabber all the time. Join this, join that, jumping off subject. Say it at the start like any other YouTuber and let it go. The problem you've got, McGinley, right, is I'm trying to build a channel, right? And I'll be honest with everybody, I am trying to build a channel. JD will tell you, we've all got full-time jobs, right? So it's very, very difficult. So see, when you start a podcast, we've got maybe 40, 50 people watching, right? So you do your join, subscribe stuff at the beginning, and then more people come in. So then what you do when more people come in is you remind them to subscribe, like, and join if they like the content. And then at the end, you just give everybody a wee gentle reminder. It's not money, guys. None of the money.
We've went through, I remember we were getting excited when 60 folk used to come on. We'd be like, 60 folk were watching that. And we're sitting here with 450.
Nice. Can I just also make this very, very clear? See, any money that comes into the rabble doesn't go into my pocket. I've bought the guys' microphones, I've bought guys' cameras, webcams. I've used it for upgrading equipment to make everything better. Not a single penny goes into my pocket. So, you know, I'll be a bit offended by that again. Although you did say you love the rabble, so I'll let you have.
The CGM think I look as if I've not got a job. CGM, that's harsh, man.
Ross is richer than all you guys put together. David Reed, channel member 95.
Yes!
Superb. If you want to become a member, by the way, you can't just by clicking that join button. I'm like,
can we just offload Dougs? I want to keep my marriage.
So thank you to everybody watching and everybody who takes part. And any questions that you ever want to ask, by the way, ask me. I'm an open book. I will answer absolutely anything, but not right now. Because I'm going to bed.
He's an open book, but it's boring as shit, man. You'd be as well avoiding it.
I've been asked to write a book before, and it's just, no, that wouldn't go well. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.